make the preview come first.
Okay.
All right, cool. We are live. Very first podcast with Mr. Marcus here.
What's going on, bro?
It's fun. I'm excited. I'm
Me too,
excited.
bro, for real.
Well, you had initially asked me to do what I thought was your Wednesday night or Tuesday night interview that you do every Tuesday with another reseller.
Right.
But we were just like, let's just do a podcast.
Yeah.
So here we are.
Well, and that's what it originally was. I was not asking you to do my Wednesday show. I was asking you to do what we're doing now, was to, hey man, let's do a show together, because I feel like we got a lot of things in common, but we also have a lot of things in opposition of each other. Like, we're on different ends of the reseller spectrum. And
Yeah.
I feel like we have a lot to bring to the table. So
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I guess we can kind of go into some background for people that are just watching either of us, or for the first time. But I come from basically a collector's standpoint, where I wanted to me and my fiance Zesty, the other part of my channel, wanted to basically just go and thrift and collect. And it grew into, hey, we can make some bucks off of this. And then it grew into, hey, I can quit my job and do this full time.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So for me, it wasn't really anything along those lines at all. Like, actually, totally opposite of that. COVID struck, and I lost my job. It wasn't a great job. It was, standard $36,000 a year Golden Corral money, and I suddenly had no job, and so I got on YouTube or Google, and I YouTubed searched how to make money from home, and sneaker reselling popped up. And so I was like, hey, I like sneakers. I like Jordans, you know what I mean? Let me dive into this. So I watched a bunch. I mean, I'm talking about months of YouTube videos on how to resell sneakers. And along the way, thrifting videos would pop up, like Harry Tornado and a couple of other guys and things like that. So I was like, that's not what I'm into. You know what I'm saying? I like the appeal and the pizzazz of sneakers, hype sneakers. I was like, yeah, man, I'm all about this. But I couldn't get them. I couldn't get them enough to make it plentiful for me. So I was like, well, let me just go to this Goodwill and start scanning stuff. And lo and behold, that worked. And here I am. A year later, man, I went full time in October. So
yeah, we both went full time around the same time. I quit my job right after my birthday in July. So I pretty much was full time like August 1st,
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, we share similarities in that point. By the way, we can both just sort of pop in with chat and talk to chat. I mean, I go with the flow when it comes to chat. So however you want to do it. We didn't really preface that before we started, but
not at all.
But what's up, Ellen, Michelle, and then Bartermania, Sunflower Valley.
Travis,
how are you guys doing? Welcome
to guys showing up.
Yeah, thank you guys. Thank you guys for diving into this podcast life with us. So
this is the first episode.
Yeah, it's fun. I'm having a good time. But no, I mean, even when we first met, I was filming an intro in the parking lot of the Goodwill bins, and all of a sudden I just see this guy come over to me, and I'm like, oh boy, like, what's this gonna be about? Like,
I seen you filming, man. I was like, I'm sitting in my car, and I got my GoPro on me. I'm getting ready to go in and film too, and I think I was doing some drafting on listing because I went to a morning session, and I'm like, this guy, he's filming. I said, he's got to be a YouTuber, man. I said, nobody sits here with a GoPro if they're not a YouTuber. So I hopped out the car. I was like, I got to go introduce myself to this guy, man. And the rest is history, bro.
Yeah, I mean, the only reason that I thought like it might be somebody coming to like be like, what are you doing, is because we had that experience there. We've had people that have had confronted us about filming in the bins. We basically went through a whole thing where we had to get permission from the management at the bins to go forward with filming in there again, and it was a whole debacle. So it's like we're very much on guard, but you were like, real recognizes real, and I was like, and then you showed me your GoPro, and I was like, all right, cool.
Yep. Yeah, man. And at that bins, especially, man, it seemed like the people just act like haters for some reason, dude. And I know it's probably a St. Louis thing. You know what I mean? The shade is real, but at the same time, though, that place is gigantic, and there's thousands and thousands of tons of merchandise in there. There's enough for everybody, man. So it's sad that people want to act petty, and try to hate on content creators because they think we're giving away the secrets, or like we're creating competition, when at the end of the day, like, our little small channels aren't the ones that's causing competition.
Yeah.
And when it's all said and done, there's enough to go around for everybody,
Yeah,
so
I think it's important that people that get upset about that understand that they're the people that live in St. Louis, they're those aren't the only viewers. Yes, there are
right.
some people that live in St. Louis.
Yeah.
Like, we've created relationships with people at our local
Mhm.
bins through the channel, and that's
Right.
really awesome. Like, the people that we have met, you know, have been amazing.
Right.
And but that doesn't mean that every single person on either of our channels lives in St. Louis and picks
Exactly.
the same stuff, you know?
See, I think for my channel, I don't think not one of my subscribers goes to that bins. Actually, two of them do. Dana, her channel's called Grandma's Closet. She lives in the surrounding area, and then a couple other people actually. But I've never even seen them there personally. And on top of that, I got more people on TikTok, I think, that see my videos and be like, "Oh, you're at the St. Louis Bins," like.
Oh,
But they
really?
don't, yeah, they don't subscribe to my channel, but they recognize that building. You know what I mean? They're like,
Yeah.
"Oh yeah," like, and they're followers of mine on TikTok, which my following on TikTok's bigger than my following is on YouTube. So, I mean, I
Yeah.
guess it makes sense, but
No, that does make sense, especially because I feel like with the younger generation, they're
mhm,
going after the clothes. Like, you
yeah,
see a bunch of younger people at our local bins and they're
mhm,
all going to clothes. They're not doing
right,
GM or media or
not at
anything.
all.
I mean some, but it is what it
It's
is.
crazy that you say that they're not doing media, because I remember last summer when I started going to the bins all the time, booksellers were crazy about the media section because they were all doing Amazon,
Yeah.
and that's
No,
all
they still
died
are.
down.
I mean, a little bit, yeah, but there's still like a handful of regulars that are very adamant
It's
about
not
their
like it was
books.
last year though, man. Like, I'd see 20, 25 people with full carts full of books. And
Yeah.
I mean, maybe it's because I don't go back there to the media section anymore like that. When I first get there, I'm going straight for clothing. So I
Yeah.
probably missed the madness back
it's
there.
it's 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 a different focus, right? Like,
Yeah.
you tend to ignore what's going. Like, sometimes I'll be in the GM and I'll look up and I'll
Mhm.
look over at the clothing section and I'll be like, "There's a lot of people over there."
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy over there, man. It goes down, dude. And like sometimes, so my last video that I'm actually, I just edited it. I'm in draft mode. I gotta, put all my tags and description and stuff like that on
Yeah.
the video. But the guy, my first item, dude, like, I was literally turning my GoPro on. He's like, "Are you gonna get that?" And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Are they your size?" And I was like, "It doesn't even matter. I'm gonna get these." You know what I mean? But it
Yeah.
was a pair of Dickies pants, man, and like, I cut it out of the video just because I didn't want my conversation with the guy on there, but I probably should have
Yeah.
left it. But I'm just like, yeah, I'm going to get these, but still, like, it's the competition's real, dude. To where, like, the first item I was going after, somebody else was trying to get it already.
Yeah,
It is what
man.
it is. I expect for there to be the competition, right?
Yeah.
So therefore, I expect that I have to step my game up and learn more brands that people don't know are valuable. So that way, even when there's nothing in the bins, I can still leave with something from the bins. You
That's
know
a
what I
very
mean?
good point. That's a very good point. I was actually we can dive into this later, but I wanted to talk about, well, even at some point, maybe it's another episode, but I want to talk about eBay analytics. That's a whole thing.
Okay.
We can
Yeah,
talk
we
about
can
that another
definitely do
time.
that. I
But I
love eBay
but I
analytics.
wanted to ask you. So Ellen Michelle said that they cleaning some shoes
I
while
said I hate
listening,
cleaning shoes.
and you hate cleaning shoes. Really,
I
I
hate it, man.
actually. It's weird because I am not really like a huge shoe seller. I obviously do sell shoes because
Right?
they're just so plentiful. But I personally enjoy it. I really do. And also, what's up, Shelly? How are you? Thank
Yeah,
you
it's
for
a new name
joining
for
in.
me.
Yeah,
Since she's new here, so hey,
yeah,
consider subscribing to both of our channels
yeah,
while you're here.
yeah. Especially if you love the Goodwill bins like we do.
Yeah, man. I used to pick up everything. If it was at the bins, chances are there's going to be some severe cleaning that needs to be done on most pairs of shoes. Not to say that you're not going to find, a few pairs that are in pretty good shape, but after spending 20, 30 minutes on a pair of shoes, I'm like, this is just not the life. You know what I mean? So now when I go out, I'm more inclined to turn down pairs that require a lot of work unless the return's going to be very good on it. So the shoe section isn't as simple as me throwing a bunch of clothes in the washing machine. You know, the shoes I actually have to got to get the elbow grease out, man, and like go to town on it. So
Yeah.
I try to minimize the work that I got to do, man, because at the end of the day, 30 listings aren't going to list themselves quickly. So
No,
I
yeah, I think that's again like that's where we sort of differ as resellers because
mhm,
I'm more into like the hard goods, the
yeah,
GM stuff. I like to test and fix things and so on
right,
and so forth. And sometimes that can be detrimental, right? Like
yeah,
you can probably list 3 items to me testing one electronic, right? Because
exactly,
you're just jamming them out,
right,
but that one electronic could also equal out to the same amount
of
as
course.
whatever it may
And
be.
see, there's
But
you got to weigh it on a scale. You know what I mean? So when I first started, I was an everything seller. You know, I just recently, within the last 4 months, have decided to niche down on the clothing category.
right,
And with that being said, I'm the whole clothing category: clothing, hats, shoes, and accessories. So it's still a wide array of things. But
true.
when it comes down to the grand scheme of me testing this electronic device, I don't have time for that, nor do I want to do that. I don't even want to test the video game systems because I don't have time to sit there and play a game for 20 minutes to find out if everything functions the way that it's supposed to.
That's
Case in
fair.
point, I bought a Xbox from this lady, and I was like, "Does everything work the way that it's supposed to?" And she's like, "Oh yeah." So I got this box of Xbox accessories, games, a couple PS2 games, oddly enough, tons of controllers and everything. But I get the system home, turn it on, and it works for 5 minutes. Then the red rings of death come on, and I'm like, "Oh God," you know what I mean?
No,
So I list it.
no.
I list it as is, and I tell the person that's interested in buying it. I'm like, the system works for about 20 to 30 minutes, sometimes even less than that. But sometimes they'll turn it on and it goes straight to the red rings, and they're like, okay, yeah, I'm still interested in buying it. So I'm like, you're aware of the condition though, right? Like, because I didn't want to have to deal with a return. Ship it out to the guy. What does he do? He asks for a return anyway. And he's like, the
What?
red rings of death. And I'm like, I literally messaged you about this. And then so these types of circumstances had always kept reoccurring. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
DVD, VHS recorders, and things like that. And
Yep.
just receivers that I couldn't test. Like I get this Kenwood receiver or this amp that I don't have all the equipment even necessary to test this. So I'm selling as is. But people
Yeah.
don't read descriptions, and even if they do, they still want their money back because something doesn't work right. So
Yep.
I just decided to leave that category alone, man, because it's a high return, and the shipping is always high on something big and heavy and bulky, versus a padded flat rate can return it or a cardboard flat rate. So I
Yeah.
just picked what worked best for me.
Yeah. No, for sure. I mean, I even as I do a lot of electronics. I
Hmm.
I I've pretty much stayed away from the bigger stuff. Like I still have a couple DVD VHS combos,
Hmm.
and that's really about it. Like I've stayed away from the bigger electronics. But like Ellen Michelle was just saying, it's therapeutic, and I feel like the cleaning of shoes or like the testing of consoles or whatever, there is a therapeutic angle for me there. Like
Right.
there's an emotional angle for me there. Like yes, it is going to take a little bit more time,
Yeah.
but it's just a little
I
part
get
of me
that
that likes it.
therapeutic vibe from standing there listing clothing, though. You know what I mean?
Sure,
So, like, while I'm
sure.
listing, I'm in the zone. Like I'm aware of what I'm doing, but the whole time I'm either in deep concentration about like the next move or like what the next business venture is or like what am I going to do with my earnings? How can I invest this? Or you know what I mean? Or
Yeah,
I just think about what's going on in life that I whatever pops into my head while I'm in a trance mode. You know what I mean? So it's
yeah.
therapeutic for me as well.
You're looking at the bigger picture.
Right.
Yeah, I understand that, and that's just the way that people think, and
Yeah.
I'm more of like I'm more in the moment, I guess.
Mhm.
I don't know.
And see,
It's
and this is why we would make great partners for a podcast together, man.
yeah,
Because
exactly.
it's both ends of the spectrum. So,
Yeah,
how long do you list a day? Like, do you have like set work hours? Do you have a set number of items to list? These things.
yeah, no, for sure. I mean, I think that's a good question for chat as well. Like, what is your do you guys block out a time in the
Right.
morning, afternoon, evening? What do you guys do? And then also like How many items are you guys up to? The people that are in chat right now. I'm really curious.
Are you guys everything sellers, or do you
Yeah,
focus on a specific niche?
yeah. Because so like Marcus is at what 17 items a day, 20 items a day, somewhere around
I'm
there.
at 20 items a day now, but technically I listed 30 items, but I only launched 20 of them and I kept
Right.
10 in the draft bank because I'm trying to build up my draft bank because I plan on going on vacation soon.
Yes.
So,
Speaking of that, yeah, if any of you guys don't know that are listening right now, building up a draft bank is something huge that I actually learned from Marcus. Like it
yes.
just never occurred to me to do this. Because before when I'd go on vacation, I'd just be like, well, it is what it is. Like if stuff sells, it sells, you know, and I also, I don't turn off my store completely when I go on vacation.
Just
I actually,
extend your shipping time.
yeah, I just extend the
That's the way
shipping
to
time
do
and
it.
I still make sales while I'm gone,
Right.
which is nice because then you get home and you're hitting the ground running sort of thing, you
Yep.
know? But yeah, I mean, like we're going to New Orleans next week for a
Yeah.
wedding, a destination wedding. So yeah, I'm gonna have to bank a bunch because
Yeah.
we're gonna be gone
You have to
for
get it
4
in, man.
days.
Yeah.
So where are you
So
going?
I don't know yet. See, there's a couple of things. I'm trying to go to Guatemala with my church.
Really?
On a mission trip,
Yo, that's
but I'm saying
awesome.
that's towards the summertime, so it's probably going to be at least a week. So I need to
Yeah.
get a ton of drafts made because 20 a day, you know what I mean, is a lot of drafts. But at the same time, though, like every 2 weeks, I increase my listing by a day. So next on the first, I'll be at 21 items a day. So, and then on the 15th or 14th, I'll be on, 22 and so on and so forth. So I just got to bank a ton of drafts, man. So, cause I don't know where I'm gonna be at by the time I actually go, but also my girlfriend and I usually go on some type of vacation when it starts getting warm outside. So
Yeah.
that's probably
Abs-
gonna come up soon.
absolutely. So do you think that you're gonna have to hit the bins a couple more times a week these the coming weeks
Uh,
beforehand?
See, man, I got a bulk buyout going. So
Oh.
like, let me show you. That's my
Ooh.
death pile right now, right? And that's
Okay.
only a fraction of it, right?
Okay.
That's probably, I want to say,
That's a lot for you, right?
it is for me.
Yeah.
Especially because I usually only get like, when I go to the bins, I'll probably get close to 70, 80 items, on a good day, you know what I mean? So, and that's like easily 100 items right there.
Right.
But I
Right.
met this person through my brother at this thrift store that he works at because he's in a facility right now. And this guy was like, my mom and my sister are shopaholics, dude. Like they got so much stuff, it's unreal. So like he hooked it up, you know what I mean? It was like hit this lady up, and give her a call. So I did, and I was like, I heard you got some stuff. And she's like, I am a shopaholic. I go to the Buckle all the time. Me and my daughter, we got Miss Me jeans and all these expensive brands of jeans and clothing. And I was like, I want to
Wow.
buy it all. And she's like, I don't think you understand how much stuff I have. So I go over to her house and she's literally got this massive pile of stuff in her garage, dude, like
No way.
thousands of pieces. And so I cherry picked all the good stuff that I saw.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, there was a ton of value there still, but it was stuff I had never listed before that I just didn't know anything about.
Sure.
So I picked 121 items and I gave her $100, but then I felt like I was kind of cheating her a bit, so I gave her $20 extra.
Yeah.
Well, then I hit her up. I texted her. I was like, "Hey, would you take $400 for the rest of what you have, which is like literally over 1,000 items?"
Yeah.
So my buy cost is stupid. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She's like, yeah, I would gladly take $400 for the rest of it. There's fur coats in there,
What?
all types of stuff, dude. A bag of shoes, like
Yo, that's
tons
a
of stuff,
lick.
dude. So yeah, that's a sweet lick, man. So
That's a
I'll
lick.
I feel like with me going to the bins on top of all that, I'll have a ton of merchandise, man.
There you
And yard
go.
sale season's getting ready to pop off, so I'm gonna be
Oh,
buying crazy, dude,
yeah.
and I can't wait.
I can't wait. I can't wait.
Who?
We're gonna definitely talk about that in a second. But let's catch
Yeah.
up with Chad here for a minute.
Okay.
Whirl Squirrel, thank you for
Hey,
saying
Kristen, thanks for
that.
showing up.
Yeah, we're a killer combo apparently.
Yeah. She's too kind, man, for real. Like,
We
uh
appreciate the kind words.
definitely. This is such a killer combo. Definitely.
Everything sellers, but leaning more towards clothing and shoes. Been doing 7 a day in March as a part timer. Yeah, I mean that's
That's a good place to start.
a great place to start. I mean I'm still at like 7 to 10 a day, but
I think I waited till I was full time to even hit 10, so she's got me
yeah.
beat.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
yeah. If you're doing 7 a day as a part timer, like you'll be okay. You'll be okay
Yeah.
for sure. I'm only at 150 items. I sell quickly because my price is 5% less than my competition. Unless it's a rare item, then I auction it. That's a pretty good idea, barter. Pretty good
Yeah.
idea. Pretty good idea. Yeah.
The trees. How
How
often do
often
you
do you
guys
guys
ship?
ship? Every day.
I ship daily.
Yeah, is if any day that the UPS is open, USPS is open, we're shipping. Except so every day but Sunday.
So one of the reasons why I do ship daily, which I was always doing it daily, is because number one, I want my buyer to get their stuff quick.
Yes,
Second is because to be top rated plus on eBay, you
correct.
have to offer 1 day shipping and free returns.
Yeah,
So that right there, and I know people are like, "Whoa, free returns? No way, dude!" But the thing is, you get 10% discount on final value fees. So in the
right,
clothing category, it's a 12% final value fee. So essentially, I'm only paying 2% final value fees on every sale. So
right.
that right there saves me a boatload of money
And
for
like
the
when you're the high turn and burn, model like you do, I mean that it perfectly makes sense, and especially because there's so much competition in clothes, anything to get an edge to get people to look at your items, when they see that top rated plus, they're gonna look, right?
Yep.
You offer free
Yep.
shipping, they're gonna look, right?
Yep.
So like, I mean, just for example, like we've talked about this before, like I only offer free shipping on items that I know there's a lot of competition in,
Right.
you
That
know?
makes sense. Because
It
I don't
like
offer free shipping at all because I usually have one offs, a lot of one offs.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
In the media category, I know that most sellers to get a competitive edge, they do offer free
absolute,
shipping.
yeah,
Kind
absolutely.
of got to roll with the punches on in that category.
Yeah.
So
Well,
that makes
especially like, if it's like a common video game, like I'm going to offer free shipping every single time, especially because I know that it's going to go first class. Unless it's going to California, I know the shipping is going to be around $3.50. So I
right.
bake that into the price, so
That makes
yeah.
sense because like I sold a video game today, but I charged shipping, but it had gotten to 40% off before it sold. You know
Oh,
what I mean? I
wow.
was running sales, so if I would have offered free shipping, it probably would have sold a lot quicker.
Gotcha. Yeah. No, for sure. For sure. Sunflower Valley said I consistently list 15 to 20 items every day. What do you list, Sunflower? What's your niche if you have
And
one?
how many do you sell a
Yeah,
day?
that too. That too. Because like you could list 15 to 20 items of a really really niche category, and
Kill it.
yeah,
Or you could list
or well
trash and
kill
not
it or
sell
not.
again.
It just depends,
Right.
right? Like
Yeah.
what's like the weirdest thing you've sold lately
Uh,
that was like that kind of
lately,
shocked you?
I can't say that anything weird lately. But I've sold some different stuff in my time selling on eBay, man. I really honestly don't know what the weirdest thing I sold was, but I've sold some pretty cool stuff like sneakers like for hundreds and hundreds of dollars. Man, the most retarded thing I've ever sold probably was I guess I shouldn't even say that word. I'm sorry, guys. Um, the most different thing I sold was probably, man, bras, dude. Like for real, because I know nothing of bras. I don't even know how to
Yeah,
list a bra accurately, but
yeah,
put what's on the tag in there. You know what I mean? And they've sold for decent money, but it's not something that I actively pick up. I've received all of these in boxes of stuff that I bought from people. So like
yeah.
maybe I need to like look into that category, but at the same time, it's just not something that like I'm like, oh, dude, I gotta go to the bins and look for bras. You know what I mean? It's definitely not
I
something I'm
think that category for me is filters. Like
filters.
I
I've sold
never
filters before.
Yeah, I never thought that I would be like a filter guy, but I'm kind of a filter guy now.
So now that we speak on that, I've sold coffee before, like K cups, like
Really?
pods, and it banks, dude. Like I was going to the Amazon bin store when I first started reselling a
Yeah.
lot, like twice a week on their restock days, Friday and Saturday, and I'd spend hundreds of dollars on like tons of items.
Yeah.
Coffee was something that I could always buy, no matter what, and it would sell. I've even sold expired coffee before for hundreds of dollars, dude. Like
That's
I
wild.
sold these weird bars of soap, Kirk's soap. Um, I sold probably about 20 bars for like almost $100. I paid $7 for this whole box.
Yeah.
Now I'm on a roll, man. I sold some Dermatome hand cream. Uh, I forgot about all this stuff, dude. but it was like for people that go skiing and like in chapped
Yeah.
environments, and
Yeah.
it was weird because it came in a little box, and it was on one of those little hang things that hangs on the aisles, like so like you'll see like chapstick or whatever, like things just hanging on the aisles in grocery stores. It
Yeah.
was on one of those things, and they were like $7 or $8 a piece at the grocery store. I want to say maybe even more than that, $10 a piece. And so I was like, this whole box $7. She's like, that's not even supposed to be out here. And I was like, well, I've already got it in my cart, so you got to sell it to me. You know what I mean? So she was like, all
Yeah.
right, well, we'll let it go this time. So I sold each one of those for like $10 a piece on eBay. And there
Yeah.
were, I think, I want to say there was 20 of them in the box. So that was pretty good.
Dude, that's
Weird stuff, dude.
that is definitely weird. That is definitely weird. I also sold
Travis
I
says I
sold
started off by selling my girlfriend's bras.
Yo, I saw that. I saw that. That's so funny. Yeah, Rural Squirrel said I got 15 yesterday and 18 today. Been on vacay for the last 2 weeks. Oh,
Yeah, she's been
okay.
traveling all around in
Okay.
Vegas and stuff. She's been hanging with the homie, sunny
Nice.
Las Vegas.
Yo, Vegas, I don't know how people live there because it is a fun time there.
Oh, Travis said, "Do you sell Ray Bans?" I noticed the backwards name, the
Yes,
reverse
that no,
name.
I actually don't sell any Ray-Bans. However, I would if I came across them. I've never come
I
across a
sold
good
a
pair of
pair of Ray
sunglasses.
Bans. I got those at the Amazon bins before too.
Yo,
Uh,
where was that in your hometown? The
yeah, it
Amazon
was in
bins?
Point Corrado. Yeah, it's like literally like right in the same shopping plaza as my local gym.
Okay.
Uh, they used to have a store. It was called something deals, right? And where like
Yeah.
they were getting Amazon pallets themselves. They had this brick and mortar building, and they would take the items and put them on shelves. So it was like a resale store.
Right.
But they were doing okay, right? But I guess they heard through the grapevine somewhere that they could do the bins mode. So they were
Right.
selling on eBay. They all had eBay stores. The owners, there's a couple of them, but I guess somewhere they found out, about Amazon bin store. So they closed that store down, got a bigger store in the shopping plaza, in the local town plaza, and put a few bins in there and just they start making a killing, dude. Like literally to the point to where they like start making smaller bins that held more, I guess, because they put more bins in the store. But at the end of the day, dude, they're making a killing like hand over fist at that place. They even start charging more per item. It was $6 an item when they opened up. Now it's $7 an item, and it's crazy, but they're making a killing in there.
It would be so hard to not cherry pick. Like if I
They do, and that's why I stopped going there. Because when I first
yeah.
started going there, man,
Yeah.
there was a ton of great stuff in there. But as the time went on,
Yep.
the pickings got slim. Like not to say that there's not value in there anymore, but
Sure.
I just prefer to go spend less money to make even more. You know what I mean? That's why
Absolutely.
the bins are the wins for me, man.
Yes. The
Definitely,
bins for the wins. Yeah.
definitely.
Latrice said, especially Victoria's Secret bars.
Yeah,
No, anything Victoria's Secret.
yeah.
It's like gold, you know?
And I find that all the time now. It's
Used
like
yeah.
once I manifested it, dude. Like I just found three Victoria's Secret pieces the last time I was there, man. I just find it plentiful now. Like there's some that I won't pick up, but for the most part, I find at least three or four pieces in there every single time I go to the bins.
Yeah, like
And
you pick up a lot of the pink stuff, and
yeah,
I've passed that stuff up all the time.
it sells so
The
quick,
few
dude.
times that I've been in the clothes section, you know.
It sells
So
fairly quick. I mean, it doesn't sell for like gold bar money or nothing like that, but you're gonna definitely double your money easily. You know what
yeah,
I mean? You get a good $10 net profit off of it.
yeah, and I mean that's again for like your model. That's
Hmm.
exactly you're turning and burning. You know,
Yep.
like you're making that $10 net profit, and you're running the bank.
Reinvesting it in
Yeah,
several more items.
yeah, yeah. Well, that's where we are, man. Like my death pile is it's still
I've seen the
daunting.
video.
It's still daunting, but
It's
we have it.
organized chaos,
But
though.
at least we have it organized now to
Right.
where we kind of have an idea. Like I would want to say that like we probably have 40 to 60 items probably.
Mhm.
I could reach deeper than that if I wanted to start listing stuff that should go into the booth.
Yeah.
But, I mean that's the deep reserves,
Right.
cuz we have a bunch of like Tupperware that we could, lot up and sell and
Yeah,
stuff like
we could
that, but
definitely get rid of that.
we're actually going to have a garage sale ourselves. Have you done that before? Have you
Yeah.
taken all the like
Yeah.
basically the the items that didn't make the cut, but you don't want to redonate. It's like,
Yeah.
why not just
That's
have a
how I
little?
got my Rolo printer. Uh, First yard sales of the season last year, I was like, look, I got all this stuff. You know what I mean? My goal is to sell enough to get a Rolo printer and some labels, and
Yeah,
I did, man. I think I made like $300 that first yard sale.
no
But
way.
right now, yeah, right now, dude, I've got the biggest pile of yard sale stuff, dude, like ever. I've had 3 yard sales total, but this one right here, I've got way more stuff than I ever had because I've been buying plentifully, and then also a lot of it's stuff that just isn't in my category anymore. So I've been kind of
Sure.
taking it down slowly,
Yeah.
and just getting ready to. But I've been donating stuff all along too. But
Same.
uh, I got a bunch of stuff for a yard sale, and like since I live on property where I can have the yard sale right, like outside, I don't have to go to like a community center.
Right.
Uh, that makes it a lot easier for me because I could just post up on the front yard. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah, I think we're just gonna have ours like in the backyard. Like our front yard is very small, so
yeah,
like
it's pretty tiny.
yeah, but our backyard is nice and flat. There's a lot of
Right.
area. But so it's actually funny because before I got into reselling, I was like dead set on having my own barbecue business. Like I
Yeah.
was super deep into it. I was getting ready to like explore the options of buying a food truck and like,
Mm,
basically getting all my licensing and stuff like that through the city and
yeah.
blah, 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 blah. Well, the only reason I bring this up is because I went to Zesty, my
Mm,
partner in thrift, and I was like, look, this could be a good opportunity for me to sell some barbecue and
yeah.
just make a couple bucks on top of all the stuff that we're trying to move, So I think it's gonna be a lot of Tupperware, video games, and barbecue for our first garage sale.
There you go. Sell
So
some barbecue at the garage
yo,
sale.
I mean, it could work both ways, right? Like you're gonna
Mhm.
come for the barbecue and maybe leave with an item, or vice
Right.
versa, right? Like,
Yeah.
you
Because
know,
anytime you're out thrifting, man, or yard selling, you definitely get hungry, man. So
yeah,
I don't know a time that I've been to a yard sale where they weren't selling some type of food or drink that I haven't bought some.
oh
Especially because they
yeah,
always got some little cute kid out there. You want some lemonade or you want some chips or candy
yeah,
bars? Like, yeah, little kid. I
yeah,
like entrepreneurship. I
yeah.
support your
I
business.
I respect your hustle.
Definitely.
I remember being a kid and trying to peddle my my baseball and hockey cards and football
Yeah.
cards, to like make
See,
a
I
couple
didn't I
bucks to
didn't
go
do
to the
cards when I
arcade.
was a kid, man, but I definitely cut some grass.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Cutting grass was like the way of life.
Yeah, man, definitely.
Discount barbecue plates with every purchase. That's actually a good idea. See that's really thinking deeply about it. And I love that barter mania. I do.
Travis is a genius.
I
Great
do.
idea.
No, that's see,
Sunflower Valley agrees.
yeah, no, that's that's awesome. But yeah, it was like it was very sad because like I COVID hit right when I really wanted to deep dive into my barbecue thing and become entrepreneurial in that sense. And but reselling sort of just like took over.
In my honest opinion, bro, and I'm sorry to cut you off,
No,
but I feel like COVID was like this unforeseen blessing for a lot of people.
a ton of people,
You know what I mean? Because
a ton of
if it
people.
wasn't for COVID, I wouldn't be in the position that I'm in.
Same,
You know what I mean?
same. I could
So
easily say that.
you got to kind of pivot. When life throws you a curveball, man, you pivot and you make the best of a bad situation.
Yeah,
And I think this brought out things that people had in them that they weren't even aware that they had, characteristics of survival mode, of being able to adapt on the fly, you know what I mean?
yep,
And to be able to provide for themselves in a time where things were sketchy as heck, you know what I mean?
yeah,
And so like I'm grateful for it. It's unfortunate that a lot of bad things happen and a lot of people lost their lives, you know what I mean? Or
yeah.
the case may be, but
I
I
I
definitely think it turned out for the better for a lot of people.
Yeah, I think it made people also understand what matters in their life. Like
Right.
life was you got to view it from a different perspective. Like basically I worked throughout the entire pandemic. I was considered an essential worker as a pizza
Yeah.
delivery driver.
Yeah.
Which is kind of crazy. Like
Right.
you can
Because
still
people
buy
got to eat.
yeah, but you could buy food from a food store, right? Like it
Yeah.
wasn't do or die. Like we weren't,
Right.
like but either way, I still felt very grateful to have the opportunity. It was scary, but I was also grateful that I had the opportunity to work through even
When DoorDash blew up.
even during the lockdown. Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, that was easily seen like that, because people were trying to just basically put food on the table, and like companies either weren't, anyway, we could talk more and more about that. But I think that, COVID really allowed me to understand what mattered in my life and like what I needed to be happy and survive and so on and so forth. And reselling was part of that. So yeah. And it really opened my eyes to be like, you have to understand, I worked for this pizza company for 10 years. 10 long years. It's a long time, man. And I think outside of COVID, like having COVID derailing my barbecue business really sucked. Like I was in the dumps. Like we're in the middle of this pandemic, like I'm going to work at this pizza job for the rest of my life and it sucks. And like in the pandemic, I met my now fiance. I quit my day job and started reselling, and I started making content again because I wasn't making content either at the time of the pandemic started. Like, so it really like, because I used to Twitch stream. If you guys like, I know I've talked about that before, but like Twitch streaming was basically a huge part-time thing for me. But yeah, I mean, I don't think that this would have happened outside of COVID. I really don't. I would be. What would you be doing right now if it wasn't for COVID?
Be some crappy manager at some rec center.
Yeah, like I feel like I want to say that I would be selling barbecue right now, but who knows? I might still be working at that pizza job. I might be.
See, I had applied to because I'm certified personal trainer and sports nutritionist, right? But since I'm a felon, I can't get hired anywhere. So like,
right.
I got this degree or this certification that I can't do anything with. You know what I mean? So it was like, what else? Other options did I have, man? I had this $10 an hour job that I was working 4 hours a day, 2 shifts every 2 weeks. You know what I mean? There was no way, bro, I was going to pay my bills on that. $80 a check, and that's before taxes.
Yeah.
Before taxes. So like literally I was getting like $60 a check every 2 weeks.
Well, it also made companies realize how much people are actually worth now too, and how much people are willing to say F you to a company that's not willing to pay them what they're worth, So like, for example, the company that I worked for during the pandemic, even during the lockdown, like they weren't really paying us extra to be there. It was wild. It was wild. I mean, we could go down that rabbit hole, but yeah, I mean, I don't know where I would be. I don't know where I'd be without COVID as far as my reselling goes. Maybe doing part-time, but I don't know.
Hillary just popped in. She
hey,
said,
what's up, Hillary?
Kids are cramping her style. Oh, kids.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I got fur babies, and they can cramp our style pretty good.
Yeah, I don't have any children, man. Not yet, at least, But
yeah,
I do got a dog. She's a tiny little Maltese, man. She's the littlest dog in the world.
Does she have little dog syndrome?
Yeah, man. She thinks she's the biggest dog in the world. Like, and she has no clue how little she is. You know what I mean? It's crazy.
That's the exact opposite of Tank. He has no idea how big he is. He acts like he's
sitting in the lap and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, bro,
yeah.
Huge.
He's
like, especially you have your dog like from a baby on up. And they used to sit on your lap. They always fit on your lap. And it don't work like that.
No, it doesn't.
Like, then you got these long claws and you're literally tearing into my stomach when you jump up on me. You just want to love on me, but you're messing me up. Like, I'm literally bleeding because of your love.
Yeah. Yeah. Is it not a fur child if they haven't made you bleed,
Right.
Barter Mania said, spend your biscuit, get some brisket. Yo, I'm stealing that. I will pay you some royalties. We'll talk. We'll drop a contract,
Right.
But yo, thanks for coming in, Hillary. We appreciate it.
Holy and complex, Chihuahua, etc. Exactly.
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, dude. I got bit a couple times while delivering pizza, and both times Chihuahuas.
Oh yeah, they're vicious, dude.
They are vicious
no for real.
Yeah. And the first person that when it happened, they tried to boldface deny it. to
Mm.
me.
Go
Like
figure.
the dog came out, bit me right in my Achilles heel,
Oh
and
man,
I was like, holy crap, like
that's
this
why they
hurts.
call them ankle biters.
Yeah, yeah. And I just said to the person, I was like, yo, like your dog just bit me. What the hell?
And what were they like? Oh yeah.
No, yeah, they said no, that dog never went outside. I don't know what you're talking about. And
What?
like, listen, I understand like dogs do things, right, like,
Yeah.
that are out of our control sometimes, but don't just bold-faced lie to me and
Right.
try to deny it, like, come on.
I guess they thought you were gonna sue him or something.
I mean, listen, I did report it to the local police because they denied it to my face.
Mm.
If they would have just been, said sorry or gave me an extra tip or
Yeah.
whatever, I probably would have never reported it to the police. But I wanted for my safety to know that that dog had its shots because it did break skin. It
Oh
was
yeah.
crazy. It broke skin. Yeah. So
I don't think I've ever been bitten by a dog that like wasn't my dog.
yeah,
So
yeah,
I don't know how angry I would have gotten. I imagine I'd be highly upset. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah. I was
I probably
upset
would
as
have
I could
punched
have
the
been.
dog though.
Like well, here's the thing. Like it bit me and ran back inside.
Oh
Like it
yeah.
was a little
It's
sneak
like sneak
attack.
attack.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, yeah. Oh, you had a St. Bernard rural squirrel?
That dog
Yo,
is too big to be getting
I
on the
love
lap.
St.
That's like
Bernards.
a Great Dane or something, dude. Like,
Yeah,
chill,
that's how
bro.
Tank is. Tank's 110 pounds, man. He's just all
His
love.
dog is definitely huge, man.
He's all love.
Yeah. Like my dog, she's so tiny though, dude. So like I'll literally like be sitting there and she'll like climb up on my chest and like be face to face, just like there, like trying to get some loving. You know what I mean? And then like if I like try to ignore her, she'll just start like she'll like wave at you, like, "Look, bro, I'm here. Like, look at me." And then she'll start kissing you and licking on you and stuff. And I'm just like, "What do you want, Dixie?" You know what I mean? So like I'll give her some loving, but then she's too tiny to jump back up on the couch. So I'm like, ha ha ha. And I'll put her on the floor and it's over with. And then she'll just sit there looking at me like, yeah, okay. And that's how it is. Yeah.
That's how cats are, They can be like that as well. We got a couple cats as well, and they're such different personalities. It's always very. What's that?
They're arrogant.
Yeah, I mean they can be. Like I would say that Liv, she's like a straight up street cat. She was found like in an alleyway, basically, like in a dumpster. So she's very much like skittish and just like don't touch me, where Tuna, she's just like love me always. I want to be with you wherever you are.
I used to
So
have two cats, man. I worked at this restaurant in Webster Groves because that's where I went to high school at, and that's where I grew up at. Uh, and this girl that I worked with, she had these cats. She was like, "Look, man, this guy, here's my roommate. He's got these cats. He moved out. He left the cats. Like, I'm at my wits end with him, you know."
yeah.
And little did I didn't read between the lines, that she was at her wits end for a reason. So, I'm like, "Oh yeah, I'll take the cats," like, sure, why not? You know what I mean? So I
Yeah.
get these cats. One was a baby. The other one was a full grown cat that was in heat. So like it was
Oh
Sparky and
no.
yeah, it was Sparky and the other one didn't have a name. So I named it. And then these cats come in and they're just like the one's yowling and howling and all going crazy at night and tearing up my couch and clawing stuff. And the other one, she doesn't know no better either because she's a baby cat. But literally,
Right.
like, dude, after 2 weeks of having these cats, I put them outside and was like, "You're on your own." You know what I mean? Like, I can't deal with it anymore. So my neighbor was like, "I'll take Sparky, but that other cat can go on somewhere." So then she took Sparky and then was like, "Oh, I can't do it either." And so like 2 weeks later, she put the cat out, and I was just like, "Well, "You guys are
Oh
on your
my
own, man." Tough,
gosh.
tough. I mean, and I know like I probably should have just like taken them to like the Humane Society, but cats are survivors, dude, and I'm sure they're fine somewhere.
Somewhere. Hopefully. I mean, hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully. This was back when I was 19, so it's been a long time ago.
Yeah, you you
Almost
were
20
you were a
years.
different person then.
I was definitely a different person, man. I was a messed up individual to throw some cat outside. You know what I mean? But
We're
I learned I would
you're
never do it
yeah,
again.
that's being young, I mean that's
Yeah.
you're not
Plus, man, at the time, dude, like I I was not in any position to be taking care of anything, dude. Like
right.
that's for sure.
Yo, yeah,
Good
at
thing I didn't, good
19,
thing I didn't have any kids.
Yeah,
No, not
no,
at
for
all, dude.
sure. I was
Who's
fucking off,
responsible?
like at
Yeah,
19,
yeah, I definitely was, man. I definitely was, in every sense of the word. Like I barely was like responsible enough to have my own place at the time, dude.
Yeah.
Let's talk about taking care of animals. Granted, now cats are like kind of self sufficient. Like put some food and some water down, and they
Oh
use the
yeah.
bathroom on their own. It's all good, but
Yeah. Yeah, they're great
you
for like if you
definitely
have to
got to
like go on
nurture
vacation.
them.
If you have to go on vacation, it's like we either if it's like a 2-day thing, we just fill up the cat's food, like overfill it, and
Yep,
then make sure that the litter boxes are good and they're fine.
good to go.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're good to go. Hillary said perks of being a reseller: don't have to deal with chihuahuas. I mean,
right.
what's your favorite perk of being a reseller?
Uh the honestly, man, the independence, man, the
Yes,
ability to do what I want when I want,
yes,
and I'm the boss, you know what I mean? So like at the end of the day, I'm the one that's got to hold myself accountable. I'm the one that's got to make my schedule. I'm the one that's in charge of getting the inventory and everything. So when it's all said and done, I don't have to rely on some crappy worker that I got to hover over, like, cuz I was the manager at Golden Corral. I ran the kitchen, and that came with its own challenges. So you'd have a staff of a mixed assortment of work ethic. You got people that are strung out on drugs that literally can't work even though they're trying to, because they're twacked out on meth,
yeah,
so they don't realize that they're doing a horrible job at their job. Then
right,
you got people that are like really good at the task that they're given but don't want any extra responsibility, so all they want to do is wash dishes.
of
And then you
course.
got this 18, 19-year-old kids that like are just here to have weed money, I mean,
Yeah,
honestly. And
right,
so like,
right. Beer money.
and then you got me that's like trying to hold this conglomerate of, personalities and work ethics together. And I'm like, guys, we need food out on the bar.
Right.
You need to drop this, you need to cook that. And they're just like, what? And I'm just like, dude, like, we are here for a task. You know what I mean? And so like, then you got to fire people, write people up. I don't have to deal with none of that anymore. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, it's me, myself, and I. And it gets lonely a bit, but that's when I throw on a good podcast or I throw on a good YouTube video or something in the background, pop into the room, say hey to my girlfriend, and then get back at it.
I don't know if I've ever felt lonely. That's interesting that you say
You
that.
have Zesty there though.
Yeah. I mean, she does work from home. And yeah, I mean, I can pop in and say hey or whatever. But like, even if she went to the office to
Yeah.
work, I don't know if I would ever feel lonely. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I guess
That's an
I
interesting
guess
thing that
it's
you said.
like not necessarily lonely in a sense, but I'm used to having coworkers.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Sure. Like
And
the
I
like
guess that's what I
the
mean.
the hustle and bustle
Yeah.
of like a place of work.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can
And
understand
so
that.
then it's just me in this room here, all
Yeah.
just working
Yeah.
by myself. You know what I mean? So like in that aspect, that's what I mean by lonely. But like technically, no, I'm not lonely because I'm not in a building
Right.
alone.
Right. No,
But
no, no.
it's a different grind. You know what I mean?
It
It's
is.
like a more casual pace. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Granted, like I'm working hard and I'm working fast. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But as far as like work environment, it's totally chill. It's totally like relaxed. It's totally different than anything I've ever done, which is probably
Oh,
why
yeah.
I enjoy it more than anything I've ever done.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I think that coming from that pizza job where I wasn't ever a manager, I never wanted to be a manager because the pay was not the pay
It's
didn't
not worth
scale
it.
the pay didn't scale correctly. Like drivers were making more than managers, and that
Yeah,
is crazy to me.
yeah,
But anyway, yeah, coming from being basically, obviously having worked there for 10 years, like
mhm,
you understand how to do the job efficiently
of course.
and stuff like that. So like I was as good as I could be at a pizza delivery job, right?
Right.
But like seeing all the other people, like you said, that are just like, they're just there, to make a
Work
buck,
on
or they're
there.
strung out on XYZ
Yeah,
or whatever else comes along with a entry level job. You experience that, and you
yeah,
are a team, right? Like you're reliant on like for example, like I can't be the only one that folds boxes. Like
right.
you guys also need to fold boxes so we have enough for dinner rush. Like and of course if other people don't care, it's just like, and there's no repercussion system. It's like
Yeah. I used to work
so
at Papa John's, man.
you
So
know,
like, I get it. You know what I mean? Like, I definitely get it. it's crazy because those jobs are built around procedures and protocols and like ways of doing things, and then you still get people in there that just don't follow the protocol. It makes
Yeah.
everyone's job harder.
And like it's not hard. It's very easy to be good at an entry level job. It really is. But
Mm,
again, like, it's you find yourself as a good employee reliant on people still, even if
right.
you're not a manager.
Yeah,
So like having the
because you're a
independence
team.
of having the independence of reselling, being, if I slack off on a certain day, that's
Mhm.
on me.
Right,
Okay? Like that, like but I love that though. I love that
right,
cuz like it also forces me to, you know, but like yeah, but also the independence to have a free schedule. Like I
right.
was very regimented in my schedule when I worked in pizza. So
Mhm.
like I would miss events on
Right.
weekends or at night or whatever because I was working long
Yeah,
hours and there was no way for me to like adjust those hours and still
yeah,
make the amount of money that I was making. So,
of course.
you
And
know,
so now, like, you have the freedom to, if you want to go to some event or if something pops up on the schedule, you're
yeah,
like, okay, well, I could just get my work done early and
yeah.
then go tonight.
Or like when I know I'm gonna have like a busy day outside of work, I'll bank up drafts.
Yep.
So I can literally just in the morning I launch my drafts. I go to the post office right when
And
they
you're done
open,
with work.
and then I'm free to do whatever I want for the rest of the day. You
Which is
know?
kind of like me on the days that I traveled to go to the bins, like I literally pack my orders the night before. Either I drop them off at 7 o'clock in the morning at the post office because we have a contracted post office that runs out of a mobile gas station,
Oh
which is
wow,
actually open before the actual post office is.
really?
So I can drop my packages off. They're scanned in, legit scanned. So eBay sees it, packages are scanned in, and I'm on my way to St. Louis. That's how I get there to the bins every morning on time. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah,
And it's rewarding to be able to know that by draft mode, I can have all my work done, all my orders are shipped, and all I got to do is do customer service for the rest of the day.
right,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
So like that would maybe I get a message from somebody, maybe I accept some offers, but
right,
it's not. It's a couple seconds. You know what I mean? So like it's
exactly.
very rewarding to be able to do what you want to do at any time you want to do it, and know that things are still the ball's going to keep on rolling.
The
You know
ball
what
is
I
gonna
mean?
keep rolling. Yep, that's for sure. That's for sure. Yeah, can we talk about the name Good Pickens? I mean, I came
Yeah,
up the
let's
that was
address
off the
this.
fly. That was off the fly.
Yeah,
I was
and
like
it's so quirky and clever, dude. I love it.
I was like Dixon's games. How can we Dixon's grabs? I was like, no, no. Good Pickens. Good Pickens.
Yeah,
So,
and it's perfect, dude, because we both are pickers. We
yeah.
both make reselling content and we both go to the Goodwill bins, the same Goodwill bins, and we both, even on the same day, leave out of there with a ton of good merchandise.
Yeah.
And that just goes to attest to the fact that there's more than enough stuff for everyone. You know what I
Seriously.
mean? It's
Seriously.
it's it's definitely it's a good combination, the two of us.
Yeah,
I
well,
definitely
we're also not in direct competition, which,
right.
probably also
But see,
helps,
and
but
there's dude, so much about like when I'm watching your videos, I learn a ton because I'm like, oh, I never thought to look at that, or I never would have picked that up, or I
same
would
for
be
you.
afraid to test that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
it's a good combination, the two of us, because we can learn so much from each other because we're so much on different ends of the spectrum. So
Yeah.
we offer a lot to each other as well as anyone that's watching the live stream because
Yeah.
and every reseller out there can teach another reseller something. There's
Right.
so much knowledge out there to gain, and if you think you know everything, then I mean, I feel like that's an error on your part because you're probably a
Yes.
pretty stubborn person and you're not going to be able to be taught anything.
Yes, I could not agree anymore. Like, obviously, you're not going to be friends with every single reseller that you meet, but I understand that I can learn something from every single YouTube channel that I watch, every reseller that I talk to, any person that I talk to in passing at the bins.
Yeah.
Like, seriously. I mean, like, there was even like one offhand situation that happened where I had a Transformers figure in my cart, and a guy looked over in my cart and goes, Transformers, huh? And I go, yeah, you know, like this was the year I was like a 2012 or something. I don't know, whatever.
Right.
But I was like, yeah, I just know the year. Like, I don't know really much about Transformers. And he was like, well, can I have it? And I was just kind of like, yeah, you can actually. Here you go. I was like, but because I gave you this, if you find anything video game related, please keep me in mind. And
Yeah.
sure enough, at the end where I was doing my homework, he comes over to me and he hands me an Xbox 360 controller that was in really good condition, had the
Nice.
battery backing and all that. And I was just
Yeah.
like, thank you. That was a really great, you know, and then we never said anything to each other after that. It was just
Speaking of giving things away to people we see at the bins, there's a guy. He's got the stash, you know what I mean, and the mullet right now. So if I point him out to you next time we're together there, I'll be like, that's the guy I was talking about. His name's Eric. He's a clothing seller. He's
Okay.
always going through the clothes.
Okay.
He sells on eBay, but he also
I know what you're
sells
talking about.
on other platforms. So yeah, we were going through the bins. I found 2 bootleg shirts, a polo bootleg and I want to say it was a Nautica or a Tommy bootleg shirt. Um, and I turned around and I said, "Hey Eric, do you mess with bootlegs?" And he's like, "Yeah." And I threw them over to him and I was like, "Here you go, man, because I can't sell these on eBay, but I know there's a
Right.
market for bootleg. There's
Yeah.
like a definitely, especially '90s bootleg market
Yeah.
right now. It's
Yeah. A
huge.
lot of like
So I was like,
Gucci and
yeah,
all
and all
that.
that.
Yeah.
That's what it was. It was a Gucci shirt. It was a green Gucci shirt and a blue polo. They were both crew necks.
Yeah.
And that market right now is popular. So I was like, "Here you go, bro." And he was like, "Oh, right on, man." I don't expect anything in return from him, but when I find something that I know that there's value of and I don't mess with it, I'm trying to bless somebody, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. No, that's interesting that it you know it's worked out for both of your benefits, you know,
Right.
in that way, like because you know, yeah, I never thought about the fact that you couldn't sell a bootleg, you know, X on eBay. That like
Yeah.
never occurred to me. But again, like I'm sure people pass that stuff up all the time, you know, like they're like, "Oh, this is a fake," and then throw it
Yeah.
away and or whatever. So yeah, no, I mean, like I've learned so much through watching you and like brands that I would like. American Eagle was one that super surprised me. Like American
Yeah.
Eagle is one of your bread and butter brands,
Yeah.
and like I had no clue. No,
Yeah,
I've
definitely.
passed up so many pairs of those the
And
few times that
for a
I've been.
while there, I was passing it up too, right? And then I can't remember what made me decide to pick it up. I think I was just, looking for brands and trying to expand my knowledge because I didn't really know much about sell through rate.
Sure.
So I grabbed it and it sold like real quick. So like me thinking, okay, that sold once, maybe it was a fluke. So I picked it up again and I grabbed a couple pieces and then those pieces sold. But it's everything's trial and error. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
found out through trial and error that men's American Eagle sells for more money than women's does, but I think that's categorically true for most men's clothing
Right.
and most brands, that are unisex brands. But there's like some women's clothing brands that sell for ridiculous amounts of money. You just got to get the right size. So,
Right.
like smaller sizes are going to be hard to move and they don't sell for as much, whereas bigger sizes move quick and they sell for more money. So, the American Eagle was just a lucky thing that I found and can find all the time at those bins. You know what I mean? But like with our region that we live in, there's things that we can find all the time that people that live on the coast don't find, or
And
people that
vice
live in
versa.
hot climates, yeah, or like people that live in colder climates find like Patagonia and
Oh yeah.
Arcturus and things like that
Yeah.
that we don't
Like
find very often.
yeah, if you're in Colorado, you're finding Patagonia all
Yeah.
the
Like we find
time.
North Face in the bins all the time, but I've literally only found 4 Patagonia pieces,
Yeah.
5 if you include the T-shirt that I really don't
I
consider.
remember that.
But I've in my whole year and whatever long career, I don't find Patagonia all that often.
Yeah.
Usually, when I do, it sells for great money.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, I mean, the moral of the story here is, guys, like I've preached this for sure on our channel. I love to teach you guys, and I want to learn from you guys. So, like, I think it's a beautiful thing when somebody tells me that I missed a brand, or I should look up a brand, or this certain item is worth this, and you missed it. Like, I think some content creators do get a little maybe butthurt about
Yeah.
that, but like I look at it as a learning situation.
Right. Yeah. So for instance, I found a Nike crew neck sweatshirt in my last binge trip, and I got so excited about it. I was like, "Oh man, this is such a sweet shirt." And granted, it looks great, right? But then so I
Right.
put it on TikTok, and it's got like 15,000 views on it and a lot of comments, and everybody's like, "That's just a basic Nike shirt. It's a remake. It's not vintage. Although it's still worth money, you can still sell it." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they're like, "We just want you to know it's not vintage." You know what I mean? And it's like I
Huh.
could have been like, butthurt about it. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
not once, number one, did I mention that it was vintage. Number two, I
Oh,
was just like,
sure.
check out this shirt. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So like, so either way
So
it goes,
people were nitpicking on you a little
they
bit.
they were a little bit, but that's what TikTok's good for. But at the same time, I was like, I never said it was vintage, guys. But
Yeah.
thanks for letting me know that it's just a basic shirt because I thought it was something good. You know what I mean? And I was
Right.
excited about it. But without the power of sharing it on social networks, I wouldn't have found out. Now, granted, I am a
Right.
part of the Daily Refinement Tech and Sports Reseller Nirvana Facebook group. So I put it in there and asked the biggest vintage clothing seller on eBay. And he was like, that's a common item, 10 to 15 bucks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I would have found out, but I put it on there first. And either way it goes, in this reseller community, there is always knowledge to be learned from someone. And
Yeah.
those guys on TikTok did alert me. The videos got hundreds of comments and hundreds of likes. So, you know, uh, somebody's definitely going to let you know the information that you don't know. Even
Yeah.
if you do know it, somebody's going to tell you, and then you'll be like, "Oh yeah, I know, bro." You know what I mean? But at the same time, the knowledge is out there. That's what
Yeah.
all this is all about: sharing knowledge and learning from each other, man.
Yeah. And again, like I know we've rounded back to this a couple times now already, but I mean, regardless of the way to gain knowledge through YouTube channels, through other people,
Mhm.
whatever, there's still going to be enough food for everyone to eat.
Definitely. And
So,
that's what Aurora Squirrel, like, that's what her saying is on her channel. She says she loves our bins. She's definitely, she's been there before, but
oh, okay,
uh, yeah, she's been there before. She's
cool,
actually from the Illinois side of the Midwest, like, so she's fairly close to this
gotcha.
area. But so she says on her channel, there's enough stuff for everyone. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And that's so true, bro. It's very, very true because, on the worst day, Goodwill is probably getting donated millions of items
right,
on the worst day. On the
right,
best day, it's probably billions. You know what I
right,
mean? So, like, we're not going to run out of inventory. Even with them selling on eBay themselves,
right.
we still get tons of good stuff.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Also, we are getting close to our hour. We kind of rapped about this
Yep.
being about an hour, but
Yep.
yeah, I mean, I guess we can maybe just kind of shore up on the chat, and
Yeah.
we'll close it out. Do you wanna go ahead and shore up on the chat?
Yeah. So let's see. We got
I think we're at Hillary's comment about all
Hillary. So
resellers.
it's all the resellers sharing their knowledge on YouTube has been life changing. I definitely appreciate everyone that's willing to help, and
Yeah,
that
that's
is something that
beautiful.
I agree with. Definitely, because without YouTube, I wouldn't have learned even.
Same.
I probably wouldn't have learned a fourth of what I know,
I
man.
wouldn't have
So
been.
that's
I
all
wouldn't have
good.
been inspired. I wouldn't have
Right.
been inspired.
I think a lot of people started making content because they were inspired.
Yeah,
And because they had that fire underneath them, that, like, man, I can do this. So if I can do it, you can do it. So let me show
yeah.
the world that it can be done.
Well,
You
it
know,
for me in my instance, like it was more of being inspired to resell, right?
Mm,
And then the content idea sort of came afterwards, right? Like
right?
I was just like the original concept of the channel, Good Game Grabs, was to just be Zesty and I hunting for video games, and then like
Right,
it blossomed into this
right,
full
right.
blown resell channel,
And
So
so, like, my channel started out to be like to show people, you can be a reseller too because this the method is so simple. You know what I mean?
mhm.
But as I was making content, there was things that I was looking for that I couldn't find. So I started out as like an educational type uh, platform as well as let's go sourcing, but nobody wanted to watch the educational content. So I just started making what people were watching, and so now I'm just a
Yeah,
picker.
yeah. No, I mean that's you end up like getting inspired and also, you know, sort of mimicking, not mimicking, but getting inspired to make
Yeah.
the same sort of genres of content within the subgenres within the genre, if that makes sense,
Yeah,
right? Like
it does.
there's the reselling genre, and then there's channels that only will pull the item and pack it and
Yeah,
maybe briefly talk about the item. There are
yeah.
channels that go to the bins a lot, like us. There's channels that
Channels that
only
only
go to
do what
garage
sold
sales,
and stuff
or
like that too.
yeah,
You know.
yeah,
Yeah.
like or whatever. But or like there'll be like channels that only do like what sold, yeah, or whatever, so on and so forth.
So, yep.
Yeah,
Let's see. We got Hillary says here in New
New
Hampshire,
Hampshire,
they find lots of LO bean. That's because you
really?
guys are so close to Maine,
Yeah,
where
yeah, that makes
where
sense.
it's made.
That makes
Sunflower
sense.
Valley says I just sold an American Eagle today. Nice.
Noise.
I usually sell at least one American Eagle item a day. LO Bean dunk boots. If you see them, scoop them up. Great comps.
We've sold those actually.
I actually have had great luck with LO Bean everything.
Yeah,
Uh,
everything.
I love it, and
Yeah.
that was one of those brands I was sleeping on for a while too, and then I just start picking it up and it start selling.
Yeah, we actually have sold those through our antique mall booth, actually, not even on eBay.
Nice.
So, yeah, pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Hillary says, "Yep, Bartermania duck boots sell great if you can find them in good condition."
Yeah, conditions a lot on that for sure. Because
Latrice,
people want them nice.
Latrice 573. Is that your area code? Where are you from, Latrice? Because that's my area code right now. I have learned so much from the both of you guys. Thank you.
Yo, thank you for hanging out and sharing
Definitely,
your knowledge.
definitely appreciate it.
Yeah.
Uh, Travis says, "Here in Houston, I'm banking off of NASA items. Nice. Is there like
Yo.
a NASA place
Yeah,
there?
yeah. That's Cape Canaveral. Or no, Cape Canaveral is Florida.
Okay.
Florida. What's the one in Houston?
Yeah, see, I don't know anything
I
about
could
it.
Google it really quick, but I don't want to cheat. I can't remember. I can't remember. Dang it.
Right.
It's not Cape Canaveral. I don't know.
That's definitely Florida.
Yeah, that's
So
definitely Florida. Dang it, dude. It's like it's on the tip of my tongue, I swear.
yeah,
Also,
maybe
Hillary, I wanted to say really quick, you're welcome for the captions. I'm going to make them more visible for the captions. Can you do captions on StreamYard?
no.
Okay. Okay.
Columbia, Missouri. Okay, so you're kind of close to me.
Yeah,
I'm in Cape Girardeau, Missouri. So what we're like 4 hours away from each other.
you're about an hour and a half away from me. Have you,
Yeah,
Latrice, have you been to the St. Louis bins? Is that one? Is that something that you come here for?
right,
Because
right.
I don't think that they might have bins in Columbia because it's a little more central in Missouri. But
Honestly, I don't. I've Googled Missouri Benz, and I think the only other place that there's some at is in like Kansas City.
Kansas
I
City.
could be totally wrong though, dude. Like definitely could be wrong. Uh,
Yeah, I feel like if they did have another one, it might be like Jefferson City or Columbia, because that is a big college town
yeah,
with Mizzou being there.
right.
But I don't know.
But you would, I mean, I guess you would think the same thing about my town though, because there's Southeast University is a
Right.
fairly decent sized university, man. But
Yeah, it's
this
decent.
little town's got nothing, dude. Like I swear, it's
Yeah,
only
man.
40,000
When
people. So
when you were ducking away from the bins and doing local videos, I was just like I could just see you were struggling, man. Because like, yeah, I mean,
I was, dude.
once you understand how the bins are the way,
Yeah.
it's so hard
And
to
that's the hard part about it, dude. Because at the end of the day, man, if the bin life is your only way of sourcing, or like you get used to that extremely low cost of goods, where you're paying like $2 for a pair of jeans, and then you go to
Yep.
the local Goodwill and they want $20 for a pair of Levi's you just paid $2 for, you're like, no way, dude.
Yep.
You get spoiled.
You
And
get
so
really
like
spoiled.
it was definitely rough, man. For I think it was about a 2 week period, man, while I was waiting to get a new car. And then like I was so excited that when I got my car again, I was like, man, I gotta go to the bins right now. But it was like a Sunday or something like that, and I usually don't go there on Sunday, but I did go this past Sunday, and I was expecting it to be a madhouse because you've said on your channel
Oh,
that it's just crazy on Sunday, but it was
yeah.
pretty docile, dude, and I got a decent amount of stuff.
Oh, yeah. No, you did a video, yeah, for that one, and right? Yeah.
No, I didn't do a video for that day because I went with my girlfriend, and I don't film when I go with my girl.
Okay, okay. Because I remember there was one video where it was like super calm in there, and I
It
was
was
like,
a
"What?"
Monday, dude, and it was eerie, dude. How calm it
Yeah,
was. Like, and
yeah.
that Monday, I actually loaded my cart up with so much stuff. I think I got 91 items that day.
Holy,
Yeah, it
that's
was great.
crazy.
I got
That's
a nice
crazy.
couple pair of shoes, man. Yeah, it was crazy because usually, the shoe bins are off the chain as soon as
Oh,
you walk in the door. It's hard to
ye-
even get around them to get to
oh
media or.
yeah,
And
yeah.
I walked right up to the bins and grabbed like 5 good pairs of shoes, and I was like, "This is unreal."
That's
I knew it was
awesome.
going to be a good day.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Like I love those days when you find that first like bin. Like sometimes I've found like a GameCube in the first bin. It's just like
Yeah.
yes, no, this is gonna be good. So,
Uh,
Latrice, if you see either Marcus or I the next time, be sure to say hey
yeah, definitely.
for
Oh
sure.
wow, I have family there in Cape. We do not have bins, so I've been to the STL bins a few times. Yeah, definitely say hey if you see us. Ella Michelle says we have one in KC for sure. I thought so. I
Yeah,
thought so.
thought so. The
New Mandalorian mantra: the bins
the
are the
bins
way.
are the way.
Sunflower Valley is
Oh,
in Independence, so that's like
okay.
right by Kansas City. So yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, a lot of
Independence. Yeah,
Missouri folks in the building,
yeah,
man.
yeah. That's awesome.
We
That's
appreciate you
awesome.
guys coming out, man, hanging out for sure.
Yeah, yeah. But we are at our time, guys.
Yeah, man.
We're gonna call it here at about an hour and 10 minutes in. We
Yeah,
figured that's about the time that we wanted to
right.
do for these podcasts. But I guess we should announce that we are going to alternate weeks. So next week
Yep.
we're going to be on Marcus's channel, Dixon's
Yep.
Pickins. So make sure to hit that sub button.
Subscribe.
Hit that sub button on his channel. Hit that
Yep.
sub button on my channel if you'd like to again see on the alternate week. Uh,
And share it with somebody that you think would enjoy this type of content or get value out
bins.
of this. So
Bins.
that way we can get this thing growing, man, and
Yeah,
get to meet some
yeah,
great people out there.
yeah. Absolutely. Get Marcus to 1,000 subs. That's coming up soon.
I'm getting kind of close, man. I don't know how many I got. I think I got 816. That's what I had earlier.
Okay.
Uh,
Good deal.
let's see.
Good deal. Well, yeah,
Uh,
guys. If we can help them get there, that would be amazing.
if it happens, man, it happens. It'd just be a great bonus to doing this, man. But at the end of the day, man, it's still been great, and it's going to be great every
Yeah.
week, man. Chopping it up with you, bro.
Like
For real.
I think I've told Zesty this. I think you're really the first reseller that I have networked with.
Yeah.
Not just over the internet, but
Mhm.
but in
In
real
person.
life, in
Yeah.
yeah, in person. And
So that's one of the things that I like doing, man. I like networking and building relationships. So you're probably the most often collaboration I do. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Because especially because we live so close to each other, man. I'm able to just collaborate with you on a regular basis.
yeah,
But it's definitely it's great to have someone that I get along with so close to me in close proximity to be able to do content with, man. Because
yeah.
it's definitely worked. I never thought, that when we met each other, we'd be doing business like this. So I'm down. I'm down with it, bro, for real.
Yeah, no, I think it's interesting that we not only were resellers in with different models
Mhm.
and in different ends of the spectrum, but also we were content creators in the same sort of area,
Yeah,
the same arena of a
yeah.
smaller content creator. So
It
very
was meant
close,
to be, bro.
very cool. It's just very cool to see both of us grow together, and we appreciate all you guys' words. And yeah, we will see you guys next week for
On
sure.
my
Same day, Thursday night, 7
7
p.m.
p.m.
CST. So guys, with that, peace out. Thanks for watching. We
Thanks,
love
guys.
y'all, and we'll see y'all later.